Hey man, I am all for the hyping up of Montreal Canadiens prospects. It's fun, right? To talk about the guys who are on this team, in this organization, in the system, who are going to be a big deal 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. Players who are going to cement themselves in Montreal Canadiens history. We already saw this with Lane Hutson the previous year. We're probably going to see it with Ivan Demidov the next year. These guys are looking like they could be superstars. But what if I told you that this name right here, Martin Brodeur, arguably the best goalie of all time, probably a top 3, top 4, loosey-goosey top 3 goalie of all time, if you really wanted to say that. What if I told you that the Canadiens have the next Brodeur? Oh boy. Now, to be clear, I'm not the one saying that. We are going over some commentary from folks on the media that said that. But let's dive into Martin Brodeur first and foremost, just to see what kind of a crazy record we are dealing with here. Brodeur was the 20th overall pick in 1990 by New Jersey, and he had some really nutty numbers. 927 save percentage in 96-97, 917 almost 10 years later, 922 in 06-07, 916 a few years after that. Look at the games played that this guy had. 72, 72, 73. He had a 77 games played season one time. 78, 77. He was playing 77 game seasons as late as 2010. This guy was a longevity beast. And just taking a look at all of the hardware here, he won the Vezina 4 times. He was on the first All-Star team 3 times. He was the Jennings winner 5 times. He was the Calder winner. He was on the second All-Star team 4 times. He won the Cup 3 times. Marty Brodeur with the 1,000 games that he had in the National Hockey League and 691 wins is literally one of the best ever. And we have ourselves an article from donlescoulisses.com that talks about the similarities between Brodeur and Habs prospect Jacob Fowler. Oh, boy. Let's dive into this article here by Charles-Alexis Brisebois. It was published earlier this morning. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's in French, so I translated it to English via the Google machine. And the original text is over here. This is the modified text. It talks about Habs goaltending prospect Jacob Fowler and says that the expectations are indeed high for him. Because of his great college career in Boston, and because of his character, which seems tailor-made to be a goalie in Montreal, fans hope so. The goal? To see him fight for the number 1 spot in Montreal one day. Now, obviously, the article says he'll go to Laval first, but once he's in Montreal, let's just say everyone will expect him to see him do what he has always done. Win games. And if it develops as it should, the expectations will be high. During a visit to Tony Marinaro's podcast, the Sick Podcast, you had Pierre McGuire step onto the show, not afraid to compare the Canadian prospect to one of the greats in the history of the sport. He says that Jacob Fowler reminds him of Martin Brodeur. Oh boy. He sees similarities between Fowler and Brodeur. The video is also in the article over here, so if you wanted to listen to the scoop itself, it's right there. What McGuire said is that he sees similarities between Brodeur and Fowler. That's definitely a big compliment for a guy who has only played a few AHL games. It also puts pressure on him if he ever ends up hearing those comments. But it's true that Fowler resembles Brodeur in some ways. He's less spectacular in front of his net, like all goalies today, but if he sees the puck and is able to move, Fowler will make the save. McGuire is the first to say it. He doesn't know if Fowler will have a Brodeur-like career or not. No one knows right now. But let's just say he's confident in what the youngster can accomplish in the Canadiens' full-time environment. Now, I will say the article doesn't necessarily say, what aspects of Brodeur's game McGuire sees in Fowler, but we're talking about just a loosey-goosey type of narrative here. I'm just going to go out there on a limb and say that I don't really think Jacob Fowler is going to have a Martin Brodeur-like career. I don't think that Fowler is going to get to 690 wins. I don't think Fowler is ever going to play a 78-game NHL season. Long gone are the days where 70 games for one goalie was actually realistic. That just doesn't happen anymore. So unless you're Sammy Montembeault, it doesn't really seem like it's all too attainable of a goal here. But for Jacob Fowler, of course, he's been doing very well, and I think there's good reason to compare this guy to some stellar goaltenders of the past. He has been very strong ever since being drafted by the Canadiens in 2023. He's now 20 years old, he's already signed on, and he played a few games for the Laval Rocket to end off 24-25. .914 save percentage in 3 games in the regular season, .902 save percentage in 8 games in the playoffs. He kind of split the load there with Primo. It wasn't really too defined. The Rocket went kind of far in the postseason too, which is great to see. And Fowler did get his fair share of starts in that environment. But all this is coming off of what was a .940 save percentage year for the BC Eagles in the NCAA, where Fowler was one of the best goaltenders in the entire collegiate system. He was on the NCAA East First All-American team. He was on the Hockey East First All-Star team. He was on the Hockey East regular season championship team. Not to mention the All-Star team for New England, the first team for USCHO, and he was the top collegiate goalie, winning the Mike Richter Award. If we take a look at the previous winners of the Richter, you will see Kyle McClellan from 23-24, a lot older of a goaltender, so maybe not the most noteworthy. Devin Levi won the goaltending award twice in a row. Jeremy Swayman did, then Cayden Primo. So there you go. Some pretty good names in the mix there. Thatcher Demko, Connor Hellebuck. This certainly is a goaltending award with prestige. So Jacob Fowler putting his name into the hat. Not saying he's going to be the next Brodeur, but he's in the same conversation as a lot of these guys, which is already pretty good, considering the fact that Demko, Connor Hellebuck, Swayman, Devin Levi, all are notable names. Devin Levi, by the way, he signed a contract today. That's pretty good. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the idea of Jacob Fowler being compared to Martin Brodeur, of all people? It's all Pierre McGuire going out there and talking about it on the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro. The article and, in turn, the video clip is going to be linked in the description for your viewing and reading pleasure. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do the Canadiens have the next Martin Brodeur chilling in their system and developing in Laval? Thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on and bye.